Assalamu Alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah wa sallallahu ala Nabi al-Ummi. The two words that we will be studying are from Surah Baqarah, verse 165. Ashaddu hubban, more madly in love. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes His servants, those who believe in Him, those who are mu'mineen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions their love for Allah is extreme. It's to the max. So a human can have their own personal desires and wants, but when it comes to them clashing with the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the commands dictated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then one has to allow the commands of Allah to supersede his own desires and wants, and that would be love, because humanity struggles with the definition of love. So a simple way to explain that would be when we allow our desires and wants to be superseded and overcome by the need for something else. So in this case, with the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we allow the lordship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to supersede our own personal desires and wants. And there's three fields where this is really needed. One is emotional. So when it comes to having desires for the opposite gender, we know Yusuf alayhi salam allowed the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to supersede his own desires. So that was that. Number two was when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam in his tahajjud prayer once captured a jinn. And he said, I could have tied the jinn for the next morning to show the ummah. But then he remembered that his brother Sulaiman alayhi salam had made dua to give to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have a kingdom that is unparalleled. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wanted that social rank to be Sulaiman alayhi salam's forever. So he allowed the dua of Sulaiman alayhi salam to supersede his wanting to hold on to that jinn. So number two, a struggle where we sometimes break the commands of Allah for our desires. One is a social, where we're trying to be more and trying to get more fame, we end up breaking a lot of rules. So this was number two. And number three is financial, when it comes to gaining wealth. So we try our best to not allow haram wealth or doubtful wealth to come into our lives. And honestly speaking, struggling with the last one, the financial love, that is something humans are somewhat okay with. Once they become a little spiritual, you will hear Muslims say, money doesn't mean everything to me. So money, over time, we realize is not the be-all for life. But the other two are struggles, social and emotional. So allowing the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His rules to supersede our desires, that would be the ultimate faith and a sign of a person's dedication to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So may Allah allow us to do that. Jazakumullah khaira. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.